Okay, this video is about why you believe Johnny Depp is innocent in spite of the fact that a judge who tried this case thoroughly found him not to be innocent and for Amber Heard to be the person who was in the right. Now there are probably multiple reasons why, but I think that the biggest reason why is that you simply don't understand how the law works. In order for you to understand it, please watch this channel because it's discussed quite a bit in this channel. This is a long playlist. It gets bigger all the time. Sometimes it's gotten bigger by as many as 3 videos a day, but you should try to watch all of them. I mean, frankly, people who are on these Johnny Depp videos spend a lot of time watching crap. Why don't you watch something truly educational and correct for a change? But I think that the first step that you don't understand about why Johnny Depp is not innocent, but you think he is that you don't understand that if he lies in court, there is absolutely, virtually 100% no consequence for it. Okay, I'm going to read this thing here that everyone needs to know. People with a lot of money like Johnny Depp, he's in court all the time, okay? Is everybody really trying to take advantage of someone with that much money? Do you really think that's possible? Anyway, there is something called absolute privilege, and I'm almost positive that it applies to all the documents up until now that have been submitted to the court in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case. I haven't positively verified that that's the rule for Virginia, but it's the rule pretty much everywhere. So it would be really unusual if it wasn't the rule for Virginia. Some states do tend to have different laws, but they tend to be California, Oregon, or Washington. Those states tend to have a lot of different laws, but Virginia is pretty steadfast and typical. I'm not able to go to a law school library to verify this for sure, but I'm 99.9% sure. And this is not a federal case. I'm going to show you a picture as I talk about this. This is only the state of Virginia that we're talking about. So I'm going to read this to you, and I'm going to try to explain it as I go. But basically, when somebody makes a complaint in law, like because I've been in court, basically they say just absolutely outrageous. And the party who's wrong says things that are lies and absolutely outrageous and ridiculous, and usually sexist, also very sexist, really, really misogynistic. Again, I have a video here. It's a real short one about misogyny in the legal system, and I mean, it's huge. Misogyny in the legal system is like, it's massive. It's just, I can't think of anything really more misogynistic than the legal system or what they let happen to women. It's so awful. You wouldn't believe it if you didn't live it yourself. But anyway, people are acting like because Johnny Depp submits something to court, it's true. For one thing, it's not. He's been compiling false testimony and building false testimony on false testimony. And I'm thinking also showing people videos that are fake, or at least partially fake, very altered to make them look a certain way. And he's calling Amber Heard what every woman is always called when she's in court, which is crazy and manipulative. It never changes. Crazy and manipulative, and sometimes slutty too. He's actually calling her that too. Frankly, if she even cheated on Johnny Depp while she was married when he was beating her up, I could give less of a shit. I mean, who cares? Who cares? If you cheat on someone who's beating you up and who you're leaving anyway, because you just haven't gotten around to divorcing his ass yet, who cares? Does anybody care about that? Who the fuck cares about that? Pardon my language. Again, I don't usually do second takes because I'll probably just say the F word 7 times the next time. Absolute privilege from Cornell Law School. This is a very credible site. They have all kinds of stuff here. And this is just one thing they have. Absolute privilege definition. Absolute privilege in defamation law refers to the fact that in certain circumstances, an individual is immune from liability for defamatory statements. And again, probably a lot of the reason that he's suing Amber Heard is is just so he can say every horrible thing about her that and not get sued. It's like probably really the biggest reason that he sued her at all is so he could just shit on her all day and all night, say she shits in bed, and then not get sued for it. And again, pardon my language, if I started again, am I really going to be able to not cuss the second time? Probably not. So I repent. I'm sorry. I try not to. Overview. Absolute privilege applies to statements made in certain contexts or in certain venues. And it applies to a complaint made by Johnny Depp. Like, the fact is, like, it's arguable. Everything is arguable in the law, but traditionally, you would have to overcome the fact that nobody ever questions it. Like, people are just so used to being completely crapped on by the other side in court that nobody questions it anymore. And are you really going to be the one? Do you really have time for that? And let me tell you, Amber Heard doesn't have time for that. Women in Hollywood have really short careers, okay? Really short careers. She doesn't have time. She doesn't have time to, like, try every single legal issue that nobody else who has more time than her has tried, okay? So, she'd probably end up in the Supreme Court over it. That would take about 10 years and just a huge amount of money. It would take, like, all her money and all the time she should be working. So, no, she doesn't have time for it. Overview. Absolute privilege applies to statements made in certain contexts or in certain venues. Absolute privilege is a complete defense. See, complete defense? And even when they say complete defense, there could be exceptions, but nobody ever fights this. I've never heard anybody fight it. And if they do, like, you have to fight it in every state. Like, for me, I'm in Colorado. Like, if she were in California, they were trying to do this case in California, maybe it could have gone another way and she wouldn't have been so completely defamed. But she's in Virginia, okay? Virginia. Not the same as California. Real different culture. Probably, like, I would have tried to get out of that on the basis of more gender bias than the state of California. Between the two states, I would want to be in California just because women get treated better there than in, say, Virginia, of all places. Okay, and I don't know that Virginia is the worst or most sexist place in the world, but I know it doesn't have a reputation for being forward-thinking. I've never heard of that. Like, I've traveled through it before, never got the impression, going through Virginia, that it was a forward-thinking kind of a place. Okay, restatement, second of torts. Under the restatement, second of torts, which is, again, really an authority, absolute privilege extends to judicial officers, attorneys, jurors, witnesses, and legislative proceedings. Like, all these people who are, like, Winona Ryder and stuff, they can take a crap on her, too, and not get sued because they're saying it in court. Legally required publications and statements made by a party during a trial or in a pleading. For more on absolute privilege, see this Florida Bar Journal article, this Catholic University Law Review article, and this New Mexico Law Review article. And I'm going to give you the link in the video details right underneath.